son!
Do you have a boss that has an obsessive crush with you? Are they always admiring your ass and always asking you to do porn films for them? If your answer is no, you probably don't know what it's like to be in Sabrina's position. Internet, meet Zigzag. Zigzag, meet the internet. You two will get along famously together. Zigzag is featured in Eric Schwartz's Sabrina Online and Sabrina Online The Story as Sabrina's employer. Zigzag is the creation of Malcolm Earl, otherwise known as Max Blackrabbit. She is a bisexual female who is the hybrid of a tiger and a skunk. In terms of animation, Zigzag is considered a megastar amongst the furry fandom, especially in adult-only illustrations that can be commonly found on Fur After Dark. Zigzag's personality is depicted as generous and protective to those around her, whether it's family or employee. She is also very affectionate to everyone around her, especially to Sabrina. She has also shown that she has a soft side for kids, once volunteering to babysit little Timothy and Sabrina's little sister Tabitha. While Zigzag's intentions are good, she ends up being a bad influence on Tabitha, who ends up being her inspiration for stardom. Yikes. But as liberal as Zigzag is in her affections, her childhood was anything but a happy one. Zigzag was born to an abusive father and neglecting mother. She is the older sister of a little brother and little sister. Because her parents were so lousy, Zigzag had to make sure her siblings were well taken care of, assuming responsibility of the household. When Zigzag got older and her body started maturing, her father began sexually abusing her. Finally having enough, Zigzag ran away from home and pursued a career in acting. But because of the way she looked and her lack of experience, her best attempts failed, causing her to almost give up and return to her dysfunctional home. But not before she found her big break in adult entertainment world. She didn't want to at first, but she had made up her mind that she would work hard and climb the ladder of success. By her mid-20s, Zigzag is already a huge celebrity for adult entertainment. She would take it a step further and use her accumulated wealth to open her own porn studio, named Zigzag Studios, or Double Z Studios for short. But before Zigzag could fully enjoy her reign at the top, she had some unsettled business she needed to take care of. She would return home and take her brother and sister to live with their grandparents. She would then take her parents to court and successfully sue them for custody of her brother and sister for all the years of neglect and abuse. As far as Sabrina and Zigzag goes, their relationship is like a game of sexual cat and mouse, especially in early comic strips. Zigzag hired Sabrina during a period where she was fresh out of college and needed stable employment. But because Sabrina was a men-only kind of girl, she would avoid any and all sexual advances coming from Zigzag. Zigzag loved the thrill of chasing Sabrina, so the lustful spark would continue through numerous comic strips, until they finally had an understanding about what type of relationship they would have, and ended up being best friends. Sabrina is the only friend Zigzag hasn't slept with, and is a special friend to her. While Zigzag's feelings of lust have evolved more into full-blown love, she is still happy for Sabrina that she found happiness in RC Raccoon. Throughout the years, many other artists besides Max have drawn and told stories about Zigzag. Another well-known fiction about her that is supported by Max is James Bruner's Zigzag the Story. In this story, she is not her usual erotic self. It also takes place 7 years later when she's 30 years old. Attempting to find happiness, she starts a romantic relationship with a man named James Shepard. One of the things revealed in this particular fiction is that Zigzag tells James that her first name is Tanya. However, Max has never given Zigzag an official first name. Though we know her last name is Zombrowski, Zigzag is a name given to her by her friends. This has been Furry Girl Profile Zigzag. Remember to show the comic some love and subscribe for future videos. I'll see you next time. Amongst all Eric Schwartz's most famous girls, meet one of his most bustiest creations, a red fox by the name of Sheila Vixen, the sister of Tammy Vixen. Sheila is a very happy and friendly woman. As a character, Sheila is not only loved for her famously curvy body, but also for her hilariously ditzy antics. For this, people often think Sheila is not very smart. Be as it may, that does not mean it's easy to take advantage of her. Like most, if not all of Eric Schwartz's creations, Sheila can be found making appearances in the monthly comic strip Sabrina Online. But similar to Zigzag, she is enjoyed more on an erotic level, with her adults-only illustrations found on Fur After Dark. Once upon a time, Sheila worked at Hooters, where she was discovered by Zigzag, and the rest was pretty much history. As an adult actress at Zigzag Studios, it is believed Sheila auditioned without even realizing it, though the rumors are exaggerated. Best believe this lusty vixen knows how she likes it. She loves any cowgirl position and anything that gives her that special bounce. Though Sheila's sexuality is heterosexual, she has zero problem getting it on with another woman. Just one of her qualities that make her a great asset to Zigzag Studios. In the studio, Sheila has an amazing popularity, second only to Zigzag, desired for her curvaceous body, and of course, her all-natural busty breasts. Not only does Zigzag love this about Sheila, but her love for the performance and the fact she never let fame change her. Eric Schwartz's top girls all carry some type of relationship or a fling with another man. And as a top girl herself, Sheila's favorite toy around the studio is Rod Steele. Sheila and Rod have an open relationship with each other. Though she performs sexually with him on video, she enjoys making love with him even more off-screen, as well as hanging out with him and getting to know him in other ways. One other place you can find Sheila is in the Sabrina verse story titled Identity Crisis, written by Ikaru Katayama. In this particular story, Sheila is the main character, alongside a guy named Arten Burich, who owns a mysterious amulet, and one day accidentally uses it that transport him into the world where the Sabrina Online characters exist. Along the way, Arten accidentally loses the amulet. Sheila ends up discovering it and the chaos begins from there. You can find the story on the website The Raccoon's Bookshelf. Thanks for tuning in to Furry Girl Profiles, Sheila Vixen. If you liked today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future videos. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema. You have been a naughty viewer, and therefore need to be disciplined with one of our more mature profiles. Meet Raven Hunt, another creation from the mind of Max Blackrabbit. And if you thought Sheila Vixen was a busty-breasted little fox, then you have yet to witness anything until you have seen the cannonballs on Raven. She is one of the Fad girl classics. Fad meaning Fur After Dark, where other notorious girls like Sheila Vixen and Zigzag make their home. Raven is a rather large bisexual wolf with a muscular frame, not befitting for the tight clothing she wears. As a regular on Fur After Dark, Raven doesn't have any direct connection with Zigzag's porn studio, Double Z Studios. However, her and Zigzag are on good terms, and they do often meet for similar interests. Raven works as a sociology professor at Patriarch University. There are rumors around campus that say she engages in adult extracurricular activities with her students. The truth is, these are not rumors, and these types of things are frowned upon in the university. How come she hasn't been terminated yet, you ask? It's because, behind closed doors, Raven has proven she is the better negotiator and is the one that is issuing the punishments. With Raven's lustful appetite, it should come as no surprise to anyone that she is good friends with the university's librarian, Hazel Weiss, a gorgeous lioness with her own kinky reputation going on around campus. Depending on the side of the fence you are on, Raven could be called a cruel and merciless disciplinarian, or soft, kind, and cuddly. Don't misunderstand, however. Raven loves attention, being mischievous, loves to see her students flustered, and most of all, she loves to dominate. And while her bisexual nature loves making her get down with the girls, her preference leans more towards men, even though most artwork showcases her more with women. Oh, and there's just one more thing to add. If you want to know what her favorite sex position is, it's best not to ask. Just do what she tells you to, and you both will get along famously. Thank you for tuning in to Furry Girl Profiles Raven Hunt. As always, please remember to give the video a like, and if you liked what you saw today, subscribe to us. And we'll see you next time on the #1 channel dedicated to furry girls, Playfur Cinema. Welcome to our first ever doubleheader profile video. Introducing Stacy Skunkette and Tracy Taylor, two more famous stars from Fur After Dark. They are so inseparable they can only be reviewed together. They are nicknamed the Skunkette Sisters, not because they are related, but because they are always together. Both Stacy and Tracy work under Zigzag at Zigzag Studios, otherwise known as Double Z Studios. Even though Stacy has worked at the studio longer, Tracy met Stacy at her first adult film audition, and they've been inseparable ever since. Don't misunderstand, however, they like guys, they just love each other more. You can always expect to see the Skunkette sisters together around the studio. If they're not snuggling up and watching TV, they're having private sessions with each other. Stacy and Tracy can be playful and competitive with each other. They also love their toys, so it's safe to say they go by the phrase, the bigger, the better. One of their favorite notorious hobbies include pulling a friend or a complete stranger into a seated room and sharing them until everyone is exhausted. It kinda makes you wonder, how come this doesn't happen to me, huh? Though almost completely attached at the hip, the two do have their own separate backgrounds that make them assets to Zigzag Studios. Stacy is popular for being a general and capable sex position poser. She will take any challenge, even if it damn near breaks her. Tracy, since the age of 18 when she joined the studio, has made her fame with a lot of barely legal porn shoots due to her lean frame and young appearance. While slight in appearance, she is popular for her eagerness to take more than what she can appear to handle. Despite all their togetherness, an issue Zigzag has with his skunk-ass sisters is getting them to perform with each other on camera, in which they refuse because they feel it might change their relationship. However, Zigzag hasn't given up yet. She feels that they would be hotter together on screen than separate. In the meantime, Zigzag is going to continue to enjoy the times that they gang up on her, and will be right there watching and enjoying with her. This has been Furry Girl Profiles, Stacy and Tracy. Remember to give the video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Step into the darkness and embrace it, for it's mysterious, its beauty, its lust. From the mind of Eric Schwartz comes an ill-tempered and foul-mouthed cat named Dark Cat. That's dark with an E and is a play on her pitch black fur. Dark Cat is one of the regular characters on Fur After Dark, but like many of the Eric Schwartz creations, has made a cameo in the Sabrina online comic. She's known for her sharp tongue and even more sharp nails. Also, if you spy on her and her boyfriend, you might just earn yourself an invitation and get a dildo up your ass. Dark Cat is 20 years old. It is safe to assume that she is bisexual, but she does have more of a preference for men. As a character, she grew up traveling from orphanage to orphanage, never knowing who her parents are. When she became 18, she was thrown out onto the streets, where she became homeless. The harsh life on the streets turned Dark Cat not very trusting and hostile to others. Coming from where she did, trusting in anyone only got you taken advantage of. Her hostile nature might be her way of pushing others away before she ends up getting hurt. After nearly a year of being homeless, Dark Cat would meet Zigzag and get into an altercation with her. This would lead to the damage of Zigzag's fur, ruining her ability to work on screen for a while. As a form of compensation, Zigzag would put Dark Cat to work as a janitor at Zigzag Studios, the one responsible for cleaning the splooge off the floor after every recording. As such, Dark Cat now had a full-time job, and she was officially taken off the streets by Zigzag. And even though Dark Cat loves to complain about cleaning up the porn studio, deep down, she actually thanks Zigzag for giving her a better life. Though that's not something Dark Cat would ever say to her directly. And on a final yet odd note, Dark Cat has never expressed being a star at Zigzag Studios, and Zigzag has never bothered to ask her. Though if that day ever comes, and you have a kinkiness for pain, Dark Cat will be there to leave scratches down your back. This is Spike. He's a Timberwolf. He's a comic collector guy who rarely speaks and doesn't like a lot of noise. This is Carly Chinchilla, his wife, and she drives him absolutely fucking crazy. From the mind of Eric Schwartz, meet Fur After Dark's heterosexual couple, Spike and Carly Chinchilla. They are the second dual pairing next to the Skunkette sisters, Stacy and Tracy. Like most characters that appear on Fur After Dark, they make frequent appearances in Eric Schwartz's Sabrina Online monthly comic. The best way to sum up Carly and Spike's relationship is, opposites attract. If these two are so much like oil and water, how did they come together in the first place? Well, according to Carly, they met one night at a bar, and she made Spike fall in love with her due to her powers of seduction. Spike doesn't say exactly, but according to him, there was a lot of begging that night. Carly as a character loves her web chat, hates boredom, and hates silence. One key trait about her is that she absolutely loves to talk. Carly works in phone sales for a living, which gives her the opportunity to use her voice. Because of her motor mouth, she is a master of conversation, even if she is the only one having one. Spike, on the other hand, is a very quiet person who loves to work out and also works as a bouncer. There isn't a lot of room for small talk in his profession when you're throwing people out. These contrasting personalities often put the two at odds with each other. For one, Spike is often frustrated with Carly's frequent chatter, especially when it streams towards their private life. When she starts going overboard, he has been known to cover her mouth with those huge paws of his, if he's not shutting her mouth with his anatomy in the bedroom. Carly at times will intentionally talk too much to get on Spike's nerves, while Spike will ignore her to get on her nerves. Most folks would probably think this is an unhealthy formula for a relationship, when in fact it has brought them closer together, because the one main thing they can agree on is sex. As Carly says, there's nothing like some rough, angry sex to blow out the tension and make everyone happy. Neither Carly nor Spike work at Zigzag's porn studio, Double Z Studios. However, she often visits the bar Spike works at, and even one time came on to him offering him a job at the studio. But Carly intervened. However, Zigzag is on good terms with the couple. In similar fashion to Stacy and Tracy, who don't want their relationship affected by their job, neither Carly nor Spike are comfortable with their sex lives being public, even if Carly occasionally rambles on about it. It's a special experience shared between the two, and it's extremely fulfilling to them. When fans think of Fur After Dark, they often think of its biggest freaks in the sheets, Zigzag, a character notorious for wanting to get it on with anyone, at any day, and any hour. What most folks may not consider is that behind the creator of Double Z Studios, aka Zigzag Studios, is a person that might have very well taught her everything she knows. That such person is often the one controlling the camera. If you love your women chubby and a little thick, then you might very well get a kick out of Tina Lynx. Drawn by the same creator of Zigzag, Max Blackrabbit. She is the oldest female of the Fur After Dark girls, and like many of them, makes cameo appearances in the Sabrina online comic strip. Tina is the unofficial den mother of Double Z Studios, and if you haven't guessed it yet, like many of the other girls, she's bisexual. She's also not picky towards giving and receiving, just strap in and let the fun begin. Tina has become most recognized notoriously for always wearing sunglasses. Most folks think she's blind, but the truth is she's just sensitive to sunlight. When it comes to the relationship of Zigzag and Tina, they're very close in more ways than one. Some might describe it as friends with benefits. Not only are Zigzag and Tina oldest and dearest friends, they're also lovers. Tina is a former adult entertainment actress whose career was wrapping up just as Zigzag's was taking off. Tina is like a mentor to Zigzag, teaching her the do's and don'ts of the industry and helping her advance her career. A good way you can describe her is the engine that keeps the ship running. Besides her work to help produce and direct the videos, she also helps with the documentations and is also the receptionist. Hey, what can you say? There's a lot of screwing around in Zigzag Studios, so somebody's gotta do it. However, on occasions, sometimes Tina will participate in the videos, even though she has mostly left that part of her life behind. When folks look at Tina, they often think that she is the quiet, reserved, and shy type, and that Zigzag has actually been rubbing off on her. That is, unless you're one of those people that like to judge a book by its cover, because most of those couldn't be further from the truth. Tina is just as freak nasty as the rest of her co-workers, and if anything, it's Zigzag that is learning from her. Tina definitely loves to get down with Zigzag and the rest of the friends around the studio, and she most definitely doesn't mind testing out the new toys and the new talent. So if you ask her if she loves her life, she'll definitely tell you yes. This is Tina Lynx. Wow, I just gotta say, this studio is definitely full of perverts and freaks. Where the hell do I sign up? Our next profile is an adult illustration from Schwartz. She has made a 2010 cameo in a 2010 comic strip of Sabrina Online, and is a regular star on Fur After Dark. A mild-mannered mother and widow with a lot of pent-up desires called Helen Dish. This cute little red and gray fox MILF is a perfect example of sacrificing your own happiness in order to do the right thing for those around you, especially for your children. Not very far into her college career, she dated the supposed love of her life for a little while before she got pregnant by him. Trying to do the right thing for their only son named Bobby, they shortly after got married. The problem was, despite them trying to make it work, it was a loveless marriage. One night, he left his phone at home. Helen, going to surprise him at work, found him screwing his secretary. It was after a divorce soon followed. Though it seems Helen and her ex-husband didn't depart with too many hard feelings. He even gave up the rights to his son and left Helen the house, eventually getting engaged to his secretary, in which Helen will admit they both had a genuine love for each other that they never had. During the 2010 storyline of Sabrina Online, Sabrina teaches Zigzag how to use the internet. Not only does she develop an unhealthy obsession with it, but she develops a bitter rivalry with a couple of people talking smack about her. In a plot taken straight out of Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, seeking revenge, Zigzag figures out where they all live and goes to track them down. One of the addresses led her straight to the home of Helen Dish, because her son Bobby was one of the people talking smack about Zigzag. But because Bobby was still currently at school, she invited Zigzag into the house to wait for him. Thing is, Helen already knew who Zigzag was because she discovered DVDs of her in her son's room. Mild-mannered and usually heterosexual Helen not only admired Zigzag's adventurous spirit, but she also had a bit of a crush on her. This encounter opened the floodgate to sexual intention, and Helen willingly offered herself to Zigzag, allowing Zig to turn the inexperienced mother out and turning her on to new experiences. When Bobby finally makes it home, he is in for a rude surprise when he discovers that Zigzag is in his house, and an even bigger surprise that will probably scar him for the rest of his life. The vindictive bitch known as Zigzag tells Bobby she fucked his mom. Ever since then, Helen has left her comfort zone and has been seeking new experiences, especially getting down and dirty. She even has a standing offer with Zigzag at her studio should she ever decide to take it. While Bobby isn't 100% feeling this new slutty version of his mom, he can admit at least she's more happy than she's ever been. After almost half a series, they likely figured we were completely done with the ladies of Fur After Dark. But today, I bring you yet another, whose body is sculpted like a work of art to match her worldview on life. I present to you Pussy Noir. Pussy is a young black leopard created by Max Blackrabbit. She loves artistic expression and believes there can be art in anything, from paintings, dancing, right down to sex. So it's no surprise that she's bisexual and loves any position that gives her the most control. And for that, making love with her is often demanding. But it's said to be an experience, not soon to likely be forgotten, which she prides herself on making beautiful with her athletic vision and naturally athletic body. Let's put it this way, if you don't like a bunch of unnecessary work to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop, her ideas of sexual beauty might just drive you nuts. But those that have been with her knows Pussy has her clit pierced with a flashy gold ring. She loves keeping her body fit and toned, and wearing bold bright colors to show off her drab fur. When she's not at her paying job, you can always find her working on an artistic project in her spare time. Yet another girl Zigzag spotted with her eye for talent. Pussy was discovered when she was still an exotic dancer. The impressed Zigzag offered her work at a porn studio right on the spot. Pussy had some conditions placed in her contract. She requested creative control, making her a creative director for any videos she appeared in. For Zigzag, it was worth it to get her on screen, and so she agreed to the terms. They usually get along well, but they can bicker from time to time. Usually when Pussy won't stop messing with the lighting and camera, trying to get the perfect money shot, and Zigzag has to decide 12 is more than enough. Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Fur Girl Profiles. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for future content. My name is Jawbreaker, and I thank you for watching Playfur Cinema.